Outrageously podcast. This is the show where we teach you how to stop living a boring life and start living outrageously. My name's Dave Thompson. That is Matt the freaking man Kelly. And this is the show for passionate, creative, and intelligent people who want to step up and make their dent in the universe. Matt the freaking Kelly. Impossible is an opinion. Just an opinion, buddy.
Mate.
And today on the show, dude, we know it's all about the journey, but we have arrived at one entire year of the LOP.
Man, I'm so excited. So, literally 12 months to the day ago, we launched episode 1 and 2 together. And, what a ridiculously awesome, outrageous, epic journey it has been. It has been freaking insane, and all I can say is I am so excited about today's episode, Dave. So excited.
Dude, it's been tremendous the last 12 months, and this episode really is a bit of a recap, okay? Because as we know, if you want to live outrageously, you really do need to be modeling the best. You want sloth results, do what the sloth does. You want samurai results, do what the samurai does. Well, today, Matt Kelly, this is what samurai do. Samurai review their progress, work out what they needed to learn, and look forward to the future. The review process of successful people, those that live outrageously, is really pretty simple, Matt Kelly.
It is. It's not that hard, man.
But how many people actually do it? We're going to take you through the process today, Matt Kelly. Awesome.
We are. And the coolest thing about this is, Dave, so many of the examples we're going to apply today are to the podcast, because that's what all of, man, if you're sitting here watching this episode, you have what? And you've gone back through the history, you've watched 56 episodes, right? That's what this is about. This is about, we've gone through so many lessons, so many steps, told so many awesome stories, and the whole purpose of this exercise is to go, right, we did all that. Let's review, checkpoint, see how we're going. What's the ultimate goal? Are we still on track for that? And if we are, and Dave, I think we are, but if we are, then awesome things are going to happen. But how would we know if we didn't review? And really, that's what this is about.
Absolutely, Matt Kelly. And this has so many benefits because you can, if you don't review, then basically, in one word, you sloth. And the benefits of reviewing, you can learn stuff. You feel awesome because you're like, yeah, damn, I did that. I did that. And when we were prepping for this episode, we were like, oh, what? Yes, that happened. Yeah, boom.
Yeah.
Samurai, boom. Yes, that did happen. So, oh, man.
That's the best thing. That's the best thing about this is, Dave, if we don't review, and we review very regularly, right? Very regularly. This is not something that I recommend that you do every 12 months. This is something that you should be doing every, look at your goals and your checkpoints in your goals. You should be reviewing this all the time and going through this process, or on every project, no matter what you're doing, very regularly, because it'll make you go, that hasn't happened, and that hasn't happened, and that hasn't happened. Great things have happened, but there's important things that haven't. Man, I've got to power forward and make those things happen, and really, that's what this is about. Let's get into it, man. I'm so excited.
Good, Matt Kelly. Let's get down to the freaking business. Matt the freaking Kelly. What a great name. All right. So, this is really, what we're talking about here is a review process by which you can check out your results and see what you've learned and forecast for the future. It's what successful people do, and we're about to give you a 4-step formula so that you can do it, Matt Kelly. Well, I know you do it yourself, but I should have said so that you, the podcast viewer, can do it, because that is really why we're here, okay, is
Always.
to spread that ripple effect, get even more samurai. So let's get down to the business. Well, the very first step, and I love this one, it's so freaking fun, Matt Kelly, is to go through what are your wins. Boom!
What is the single biggest success that you have had? What are the minor successes? Man, every single step. If you get if you get from the first step to the second, boom, success. Boom, I just won.
And I think, Matt Kelly, we've been very good at that in the podcast, because remember when we pressed stop on that very first episode? We had the call going and then we pressed stop. Boom. First episode done. You know,
and I'll tell you, for two people who've gone like, we should have a podcast. This is what it should be. This is what it should do. Man, 45 minutes, one hit, action. Like, that was scary. That was really scary. That was not an easy... Like, I'll be honest, man, that was a tough thing to do. But what happened? We were like, okay, we're going to... No matter what, if we stuff up, we laugh and we keep going. And that's what we did. And, like, that was one of my proudest moments from the whole podcast. And this is before we had a single viewer... Right, we were joking in that first episode that my mum would be the only viewer we had, Dave. We literally believed that. So for us to get to the end of that episode and go like stop, record, upload, like so massive, and that was a huge win.
Absolutely, Matt Kelly. And then just a couple of days later, E to the frickin' Sven, Eric the man Svensson, the Swedish dude living in Arizona, now living large in Barcelona.
Yep.
Gets in contact with us. Small wins, Matt Kelly. Small wins. This is what we're talking about. People don't celebrate in society enough, do they? Nowhere near enough. So celebrate every single moment. And Matt Kelly, what we're really talking about here is celebrate your wins and here's the thing that a lot of people miss, celebrate the ripple effects that you've been able to cause, because it's not all about you.
No. And
it's about the value you can add.
If you're a samurai, you know you've got a powerful influence in your area of expertise, in what you do, and how you add value, and who you help out. And that's where this gets really exciting, Dave. That's where this gets, like, freaking awesome, is when you can go, like, whoa, like, I did X, and that person went and did something as a result of that. Whoa. That is a win. What that person did is a win. And like, we have to smash through some of the community, Dave, some of the samurai, because there's been some awesome ones.
Well, dude, we kicked off pretty much in the first week, didn't we? With Ariana. She was hanging out was it New York City for a long, long time, and she really wanted to move to Portland. She'd been wanting to do that for a long time, hadn't been able to make the decision. Watches like 3 episodes of the podcast. Boom, I'm doing it. So immediate results. You know,
that was such a cool moment. That was such a cool like yes, like, because she knew she wanted to do that. She had to say, she had to have the samurai like within her go, whoa, this has to happen immediately and take immediate action. And that's exactly what this was about.
And I think a lot of people are in that situation, Matt Kelly. They're sitting there at home, maybe listening to this, maybe listening to something else, and going, I've got this big dream. I know my outrageous. I just know. I know what I want, or I've got a reasonable idea of what I want, but I just can't take the plunge. Right? That's why the LOP exists. That's why, because for me, Matt Kelly, there is nothing better in this life than getting a message from someone like Ariana going, you know what, Dave? I just went and chased down what I want to do. Do what you do. Boom! Yes! That was stoked, Matt Kelly.
It was just an epic moment for us, because we went, like, yes, she knew she had to do it. She knew it was time. She took action and she made it happen. And whether the influence from a viewer perspective, if your influence is this much or this much, it doesn't matter. The point is you took action and you gave someone else a reason to be samurai, and that's what you got to be excited about.
And if we look through the other members, the other samurai, man, there's so many of them. And I do apologize if we missed someone out who really thought that they should be here. But, you know, you look at the likes of Amber, stuck in her job that she knew was a crappy job. She'd been there like 8 or 10 years or she'd been there too long.
Yeah.
She's watched the show since the very start. Middle of the year, she goes, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to be a scuba instructor. And she's there now. Dude, that is the classic story of living outrageously. So, man, big fist pump to Amber. Boom, rock on. That is so cool.
It's like that is textbook. Like, if you wrote the Bible of living outrageously, come on, you've gone from job you don't like to scuba instructor. Like, that is like the best case study in the world, because that's what this is about. Man, can I give a shout out? I want to give a shout out to Stephanie, because Stephanie's been with us for quite a long time now. Yeah. Stephanie has just nailed an epic book deal. Like big publishing company, like boom to the sloth. Sloth is totally dead because she's writing a book in her field of expertise, in the field that she's passionate about. She's like, do you remember when she organised to go and speak at that conference? Like, all this stuff that builds up, and you're like, man, Stephanie, you are freaking killing it. That is awesome.
And another person that's killing it, Matt the freaking Kelly, he's gone missing and we've called him out, but he's been busy gathering other real-life samurai, Connor the Hunter Hastings. Man, he decided that it wasn't good enough to just have it on the internet. He's going to go and make it himself. So he goes and surrounds himself with real-life samurai in an LOP-style meetup. Man, that's freaking... Oh, that is outstanding.
Man,
that is outstanding.
It was so good because we're sitting here going like, Connor, you write amazing fables. Connor shared the love of the LOP with that, like, in his university, like, newspaper. We were like, what? That's amazing, Connor. And now he's like, it is not enough to participate with the online community. I'm building it. Man, damn, that is a samurai if I've ever heard one.
That is so gangster, man. I've been watching a lot of Jay-Z recently. Man, that is one cool dude. I wish I was black sometimes.
Wow, yes.
Well, maybe I wish I was Jay-Z. One day,
maybe.
Matt Kelly. One day, Michael Jackson did turn white. So maybe you can do it reverse.
I've got no doubt there is a way. Sure. Sure. Awesome. Let's keep rolling, Dave.
Let's keep rolling, man. All right. So Rod, the man Butchers, decides that he's not too happy in his current business. So he's like, hey, we're going to have a play. We're going to start a muse. Now he's booked he's full. He's booked. And he's in the photo booth business.
Man, you know what that is? That's
Who
where you
thinks
like
of photo booths?
Remote photo booths that you take to events, and people like that is like such a cool idea. Such a cool idea.
You know what else, Matt Kelly? He's gone in at the premium end of the market. He's like, no, premium, baby, premium. And man, again, textbook living outrageously. You know what else is textbook living outrageously? Joey from the Samurai Lounge. How do you say his surname? Metzger?
That's pretty close, I think.
I apologize if I missed it there, Joey. Joey's sitting at home the other week or wherever he was, and he's like, you know what? Could do with some cash today. Goes and sells $550 worth of light bulbs on eBay. Boom. Impossible is an opinion.
Oh, that's massive. It's massive. Listen, that is textbook living outrageously. He's like, light bulbs are cool. There is innovations happening in the light bulb industry. I'm going to go and like push my like bang value add into the universe. Freaking light bulbs, like sold. Money in the bank. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Like finished.
And that's the thing, man, is, you know, if you went and took that view out into greater society, I know in Australia, if you said, yeah, I just made a heap of money selling light bulbs, they'd cut you down, man. Tall poppy syndrome. Boom. Get down to size. You know, come work a job with me and earn $16 an hour. You high roll. You go getting achiever.
Yeah.
How dare you achieve? How dare you achieve? Come back and be boring and fat with me.
Everyone in Australia
good.
Everyone in Australia just developed an American Dave Thompson accent as well.
Oh, I'm all tripped out, man. I'm all tripped out because there is this thing in Australia called the tall poppy syndrome where achievers, tall poppy, flower. Flower starts to grow. In Australia, if you grow too big, boom, we'll cut you down. We'll cut you down. I like it in the States, Matt Kelly. Anyone that rises to the top in the States, it's a different attitude from what I can gather from all my understanding. North Americans,
celebrated.
They celebrate it. I love that, man. I love that. I love that. You know what else I love, Matt Kelly? Wes Winbury getting involved with his astronomy podcast. Cecily letting it rain on the Trailer Talks. Kelly Byrne doing a first half marathon. I think Roxanne up there in Canada also hit some running goals this year. Joanna started her own tourist business in Wawa.
How good was that?
Yeah, that is wicked. That is so. This is sort of along the line. This is the summary of her story. My town is awesome. People should see my town. Start tourist business showing people my awesome town. Boom. living outrageously, Matt Kelly.
Man, can I shout out Pryor? Pryor has been with us for quite a long time. Pryor has not only introduced friends and others to the show, but man, he's like created an epic video for us celebrating the
Desert
LOP,
Sloth.
killing Desert Sloth. Amazing. He's journeyed across America to like reach his goals, to see his family, to make things happen. He's like killing it. Explosive online business. Pryor, I predict a big 2013 for you, my friend.
Oh.
Thank you for being the epic samurai that you are.
Oh, Matt the freaking Kelly. And to round out the shout outs, I know this particular lady does not like public recognition, but I do have to sneaky, really sneaky. Just a sneaky little plug. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen is doing outstanding work with charities. I'll leave it at that.
And
I'll
Dave,
leave it at that.
And what we have to say is there's so many samurai that we haven't mentioned right now. We've got like Jerry. Like, do you remember like Jerry's was like killing it and introducing so many people. There's all these people out there who've done so much for us, for the show. And first of all, like, mass gratitude to all of you, because it's been amazing having you involved. But also like, they're huge wins for us. Like, knowing that we're putting stuff out there that you care about that much is amazing. So I know that we've only touched on just a few of you, but like, we know there's so many more out there, and we appreciate every single one of you. It's awesome.
Absolutely, Matt Kelly. And you know what? We just mentioned some shout outs, but there are untold. Excuse me, I think it's the yak on my shirt. See my shirt? I'm just going to segue here. I've got this really cool shirt on, Matt Kelly. I got it in Nepal, in Kathmandu, and it says, yak, 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 Nepal. And I want to tell you a really funny story. Can I tell you a funny story? Is that all right?
I think it's required, yes.
Okay. So this is like, about 2 years ago now. We're in Everest Base Camp, okay? We're on the way back, flying from the base from Lukla, the base in the Himalayas, and we're heading back to Kathmandu. It's a short flight on a really small plane. The runway's like literally 150 meters long, and when you take off from the runway at the leaving Lukla, you actually continue to go down before you go up. It's so short. Jeez. So anyway, we were stuck there for a couple of days. One, because of the weather, and two, because a plane, one of the first planes in, actually crashed into the end of the runway.
Oh, yeah. You told me about this. Yeah.
And blocked the end of the runway. Anyway, when we finally got going, there was this guy that I was hanging out with. I can't even remember his name, but he was Aussie. And he goes through security, and this was my friend. He'd been on the tour with us, and he'd been to a gift store, and he'd bought this little yak, this little black yak as a souvenir. All right, because there's lots of black yaks on the trail, and so he goes, man, this is building to something, and if it's not funny, I'm gonna
erupt in laughter. So don't worry about it. We'll roll with it, Dave. We'll roll with it. It's what we do.
So he's got his little black yak, and he's gone to security, and for some reason, the security at Lukla were very stern. They were like, And so the security's looking through his gear, and he pulls out this little rucksack, and it totally looks like something that there'd be a buttload of drugs in.
Okay.
And
because that's what you want. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And so the security pulls it out, and he's looking really stern. He's looking at the guy. He's like, not happy. Some shit's about to go down, and he opens it up, and he pulls out this little thing, and it's wrapped in cloth, and all drugs are wrapped in cloth. It's not looking good even more. He's still like, looks at the guy, looks at the bag, looks at the guy, looks at the bag, takes off the piece of cloth, looks it out, and there, standing in the hand, is a tiny miniature black yak. And instantly the guard changes his view from to yak. I built that up, Matt Kelly. But it was so funny to go from drugs, you're gonna die, and go to Kathmandu prison, and you're never escaping, to yak.
Yeah.
So I just love this shirt.
I love it.
I love this shirt.
Sentimental value, my friend. Oh, listen, let's. Oh, it's so good. Let's wrap up the wins, Dave. And all I was gonna say was, when you're going through this list of all of your personal wins, and you got your short-term quick wins, you got your long-term massive. I'm so grateful for these big wins. No matter what, The whole point is here. Just think about like your personal wins, and also what the ripple effect of those were. Like we're sitting there celebrating the wins of the Samurai Lounge because we're freaking stoked that we might have had 0.000%, 0.1% chance of influencing that. That's freaking awesome. That's freaking awesome. Like, that is so good that people are taking action and we know about it because guess what? It helps everybody when we know about it. So think about the ripple effects of how you've like helped others, influenced others. Go into a crap ton of detail here, Dave. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what it's about.
Go to town.
Pump yourself up. Like, get excited about it, man.
Woo!
Damn. Easy. Step 1.
Matt Kelly, secret sauce. Secret sauce on the wins.
Go on.
Notice that although the Living Outrageously podcast did hit number 1 in 3 countries and was on the new and noteworthy list ahead of incredible people like Oprah, CNN, Deepak Chopra, note that we did not lead with that. Why? Because it's not about us. It's not about me. It's not about you, Matt Kelly. It's about the value we can bring. And if we walk into the party, hey, look at us.
Yeah.
All right? That's cool. And if we look cool, people will be like, yeah, they are cool, actually. But gets a bit nauseating after a while, doesn't it?
It does indeed. It does indeed.
It's not about you. It's about what value you can add. Boom. Matt Kelly, let's move it on. So the first part, oh, man, I've got an itchy knee.
Scratch your knee, Dave. Scratch your knee, Dave. Scratch it. It's all good.
And no, I'm not counting in Japanese.
Bro, let's commentate through this. Where on the knee is itchy?
Mein Knie tut weh.
Okay.
Now I'm speaking German.
That was specific and German, yes.
All right, so second point is review what challenges you had during the period and what you learnt from those moments.
Yes, this is massive, Dave, because, like, let's face it, we all hit challenges, and, like, every day, the sloth presents challenges, and you got a choice. You overcome them, or you let them overcome you. And when you overcome them, you learn a lesson. You learn a massive lesson, and that's what's exciting about this, is that we've hit challenges, Dave, with the podcast. We've hit quite a number of challenges.
Oh, dude.
And every time, we've had to go, what are we going to do here? Like, there's a number of things we can do. Only one of them is going to result in the podcast going live today, right now. What are we going to do? And that's where it's really good to reflect on, when you made the right call, when you did overcome the challenge, or if you didn't, was it the right call to go, actually, that's too hard, it's not the right time for whatever reason. Okay, let's go around and do something different. Like, just review the success of the challenges.
And you know why this is important, Matt Kelly? I'll tell you why. Because if you don't learn the lesson, you're going to get the same problem again. That's how life works. If you don't solve the problem, if you don't learn the lesson, you cannot advance to the next stage. That specific problem that you're facing may go away, but an even bigger one will come. So, for example, Matt Kelly, if you are in a crappy relationship, if you do not learn what you need to learn about yourself, because remember, you can't change anyone else. It's all about changing yourself. If you don't learn that and you end up breaking up and moving on and you haven't addressed that problem, you're going to get it again. You're going to get it again, and you're going to get it again and again and again and again and again. And that's why you find people that have like 5 ex-wives and it just doesn't... Yeah. They just keep dating the same type of people and they're like, yeah, I don't want to marry these guys. Or you just keep on getting broke. You just broke every week, and then, $1,000 comes in. Sweet, I'm not broke anymore. But yeah, it comes back, and next thing you know, you're $1,500 in debt.
Yeah.
You must learn the lesson. So if we have a bit of a look, Matt Kelly, at some of the lessons that we've learned along the way.
Let's talk about...
Or the challenges. The challenges and then the lessons.
Let's talk about technology, Dave, because one thing that we both learned, and this, I think we totally underestimated when we started how evident this challenge would be, technology. Do you know, podcast viewers, when you don't have 100% control of the cable that runs from your house or from your office to a switch somewhere, when you don't have full control over that, do you know how hard it is to ensure you have high-speed internet? It is very difficult. And I'll tell you what, podcast viewers have seen us go, lag,
Gobble.
lag. Because that has been a massive challenge, man. Think about scheduling issues, Dave.
Oh, dude, it's a case of where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, but replace the word Carmen Sandiego with Matt the freaking Kelly or Dave Thompson.
It's been, every week.
Because literally, you've been overseas a number of times this year. I've been in Sydney and Melbourne every other week, and for us to link up in the right time zone at the right time, and both of us to have internet, that has been a challenge.
A massive challenge.
But, Matt Kelly, what I'm really proud of and what I'm just so stoked to have partnered with you with is we have always delivered. Every time that we've said to each other, podcast happening now. No matter what the challenge was, we've always found the way. Remember, man, remember that time I was in Melbourne and I was in I was knee deep in water outside the air conditioning unit, stealing Wi-Fi from next door, and they were telling me to shut up because I was getting too crazy loud.
Yeah. There was
Deliver.
Dave, there was a time when we had my laptop tethering through an iPhone.
Oh, yes.
To podcast because the power had gone out.
Yeah, some Queensland badass storms, man.
Oh man, craziness.
So it is a big challenge to deliver. It is a big challenge to deliver. So that was probably one of our biggest challenges. Another big challenge for us. Oh, hold on. So what did we learn from that, Matt Kelly? Can I share that?
Please do. Go.
I learned from that, from our experience, is a couple of things. One, your standards are so important.
Yes.
I knew that you and me, when we sat down to do this, we said, right, we're committed. We're in for a minimum of 12 months, okay, to make this work. We also said we commit to the high standard of making it happen when it's time to happen. No questions. No questions.
And Dave, that required. There were times where one of us was out traveling. I know that you spent time in July. You spent time overseas. We actually, for a week at a time, we would record back to back each day so that we had episodes in the bank so we could still roll them out because we knew we didn't want it to go 2 weeks without a podcast going live.
So the lesson there is that you will, whatever your standard is, you will meet that standard. And yeah, let's just leave it at that.
I love it.
Yak.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's what this is about, man. It's been great.
Next challenge. Matt Kelly, we have had a challenge with knowing what to do next.
Yes.
Dude, no one has done the sort of thing that we're doing. Sharing this topic via this medium. No one has done it. There is no rule book.
And
Okay.
while we have been able to go and model the way people do things in different ways, so we've been able to take a lot from a lot of people. At the same time, it's been personally found it to be very challenging in going, well, do people want this type of content, or what would our viewers want us to tell them about right now? Because it's not like there's been a sequence that we could just follow back to back that someone else has done and gone, those guys did it that way, sweet, let's go, back. No, that didn't exist.
And at times, Matt Kelly, in between episodes, like for days at a time, I could almost sense that we would begin to get a little paralyzed by what to do in the next, by what to do coming up. But then we realized, and this is the lesson. The lesson is, all right, we really wanted the certainty. Well, let's change the way we get our certainty. How about we wake up every single morning and, Matt Kelly, we can be certain that the day will be uncertain. We find certainty in the chaos of what is about to happen. Doesn't that just put you at peace? You just walk in and you just go, all right.
What are we talking about? Let's go.
I don't know what's going to happen today, but I'm here. I have my samurai skills. I know it's up here. I'm strong here. Standing firm. I'm direct when I need to be. If I take a hit, I take a hit. I have high standards. I get up. I keep moving. Cool.
Sweet.
The other lesson there, Matt Kelly, is literally if you don't know what to do, make it up.
Which we've done many a time.
Many times. And the lesson here is to model the best. Find us whatever you want to do, and let's face it, for pretty much anything in the entire world ever that you want to do, no matter how creative it is, there is probably someone that's done it before or done something very similar before. If you've got a problem, someone else in the world has had that problem before. Search out that person and model them. Do what they did. Get the results they got. Or else you'll be modeling sloth. You get sloth results. So, Matt Kelly, how would it be cool with you and with the podcast viewers if we shared some of our models for the podcast so people can sort of see that really, although we made stuff up, we really did just copy a lot of people.
We definitely knew what we had grounds to believe that this would work. So we never went in. I honestly believe that.
That's lawyerish, Matt Kelly.
I'll rephrase. No, I won't rephrase. That is actually what I believe. No, I honestly think that every crazy idea we had, we could always go, well, someone did this, which was kind of like that in these three ways, and X was the result. And we almost always were able to go, well, if that was their result and that's the result that we want, great, let's do that. And there was always some level of justification for the approach that we took. So, well, it was crazy. It was scary at times, and we didn't know what was going to happen. We also did. We had some pretty, we modeled some very high quality people.
In our introduction, for example, Matt Kelly, our introduction is a direct rip-off of Gary Vaynerchuk's Wine Library TV. You and me carry on like stuffed chooks.
Yep.
Okay, we have copied his energy, and you know what we did? We added our 20%, which was the famous chop. Vaynerchuk does not have arm movement. So for those of you that don't know, Gary Vaynerchuk starts his Wine Library TV podcast as, "Hello, everybody. My name's Gary Vaynerchuk. And this is Wine Library TV, a.k.a. the world's most passionate internet wine channel. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk." Super high energy. Pisses a lot of people off. But a lot of people love him. We like that guy. He has a passionate community. He engages with passion about his topic. Yes, he is our model.
Yes.
Do as he did. Welcome to the Living Outrageously podcast. This is the show where we teach you how to stop living a boring life and start living out. You get the idea.
Boom.
Direct copy. The shout-outs, Matt Kelly. Who did we copy there?
The Lifestyle Business Podcast are freaking great at going, man, iTunes reviews are important to us. We like it when we get iTunes reviews. So what do? They thanked people for giving them iTunes reviews. So we went, hey, that's smart. Our community is going to like it when we say, and you mentioned it before, like, number one in iTunes. It's no small feat. People love that recognition to a public audience of going, hey, like, you're important to us and we value you so much. We want to share you. We want to thank you publicly. So for us, it was like, they did it and it works. So let's do it.
Awesome. What about from the tech side? We pinched a lot from David Siteman Garland, The Rise to the Top.
Sure did.
His setup.
And he literally, every episode of The Rise to the Top, 2 windows, side by side. There's nothing else. There's no tricky editing. There's no 7 cameras. There's no guy editing and switching at the same time. No, he doesn't need that because he focuses on content. And we were like, damn, that's awesome. Like, it takes a lot to go, right, one take, side by side, no fancy trickery here. We're just going to do it and get it done. And that took some confidence on our part to go, can we do this? Yeah, damn right we can. And David Siteman Garland did that and it worked. And that's like, boom, success.
Awesome. The actual way that we present our information. So many people might think that we just go on rants, okay? And at times we do. especially you, Matt Kelly, especially about death and adding value.
Man, freaking adding value. Yeah, there will be a rant about that shortly. There will be I've got that coming. I've actually prepped an adding value rant for later in the episode.
Oh, man, that's so funny. I'm so happy right now. Okay, so the actual way that we present our information does follow a specific format, and we took that directly from some advanced speaker training that I took before we started the show. All right? Directly from there. And it works a treat. And you know what? In 2013, Matt Kelly, we're going to be sharing all these they're not little, they're big, because the way that we actually share information in the format sequence with 4 boxes, so easy to remember. You don't need notes. You just fill it out. Away you go. Boom. We're going to be sharing that in 2013, but more on that later.
Also, I will say one thing, Dave, is some of the viewers who've been here with us for a long time, actually, I reckon some of them would almost have caught on to it, because while it does seem a bit ranty at times, there's been a few hiccups where we've gone, and then hit the next one, and I think, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about you sharing that one, because it's certainly been something that we've gone, like, every week, like notoriously, as much as we go through the same process for uploading the episode, we do go through a very similar process in getting the content ready, and it's an exact replication of the process that you learn. So, not reinventing the wheel.
And Matt Kelly, as we go through these models that we've modeled, I want the podcast viewers at home to ask themselves, whose wheel could I follow? In my life specifically. Who have I been modeling?
Yep.
What result has that been giving me? And who do I need to model to get the outrageous life and results that I want? That's the question as we go through the next bit. In terms of content, Matt Kelly, we have just grabbed whatever Robbins says, Tony Robbins, whatever Gary Vaynerchuk says, Tim Ferriss, Seth Godin, bit of Dalai Lama, a little bit of business model generation, a little bit of Steve Jobs, a little bit of Guy Kawasaki. We've just grabbed all of them and gone, boom.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Go to and are those people the best at what they do? Yes. Go for the best.
There's a lot to be said for taking awesome content and presenting it in your own way. Because Dave, we've had people like in the iTunes reviews. I remember I very distinctly recall one who said, this is not new content, but I've never heard it presented this way before, and now I am finally taking action. That's because nobody screamed it at you. No crazy Australian has yelled it at you through a webcam. Let's face it, it's all about you, your 20%, the value that you add. So while we've gone and grabbed all this material, all this content, all these processes, structures, all these things from different people, we know that there's no other Dave Thompson, there is no other Matt Kelly, and there is no other Living Outrageously podcast. And because of that, that's where we've been able to, that's the recipe, man.
It is the recipe.
This is.
The upcoming website refresh has elements of the Rise to the Top, Mixergy, mariefolio.com, socialtriggers.com, has elements of all of the above. All right? The fact that, and I hope the podcast viewers agree with us here, and certainly this is something that we hold as one of our high standards, is that we really, really do care. We really give a crap about our viewers and their success. And that is an honest and sincere and genuine caring. But guess who else is doing that? Vaynerchuk, Zappos, Tony Hsieh.
Yeah.
Both getting outrageous results. We want their results. We want their passionate fan base, just like them. So we do what they do. We care as much as they care. And finally, Matt Kelly, in terms of delivering on the podcast, delivering high quality content every single time, delivering despite the obstacles, well, we've just modeled every successful person ever known in the history of the entire world. That's just what successful people do.
Yeah.
Now, could we deliver more? Yes. Is big things happening in 2013? Yes. But did we fulfill our promise to each other at the start, which was to deliver the podcast every single time. No excuses. Yes. Boom. So the summary of that, Matt Kelly, what are your challenges? What challenges have you faced? What did you learn? What do you need to learn right now in order to progress to the next level? And who do you need to model? I like it, Matt Kelly. I like it.
I really like it.
I think it's time for a bit of a dance, man.
Ooh, almost like a dubstep.
Maybe it. You really?
I don't have dubstep prepped, but it could be arranged.
Oh, all right. Well, get your Indian outsourcer to arrange that and pump it through your speakers or something.
We'll arrange. Well, okay. Let's see what we can line up for the end of the episode.
All right, cool. All right, moving on. So we've had what are your wins? What ripple effects have you created? What challenges have you faced? And what have you learnt from it? And what do you need to learn in order to move to the next level? Third one, Matt Kelly, who do you appreciate? Because this is important, because coming from a place of appreciation, those people that are familiar with the concept of energy and like the state of being, if you appreciate other people, they will appreciate you. So, Matt Kelly, I want to send out a massive appreciation to every single viewer who ever watched the LOP, who ever watched even 1 second of what we talked about, even if they clicked away and never watched us again. Every single person that even left one comment, one Facebook comment, pressed like once, dude. That is so great. I love that.
I hear you, Dave. Can I go a step further? I want to actually thank all of the people who sent us negative feedback.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Now, there hasn't been a lot of them, but there's been one or two. Like anything in this world, if you have any success, you expect there to be the trolls to come out in their droves, right?
Man, remember that lady in like the second week of the podcast who thought you were like the devil or something?
Yeah, someone didn't like it. Anyway, point is, for those people, here's my
that's
logic,
right,
Dave.
Matt Kelly. I won't say it. I won't. It's not. It's a family show. It was pretty severe.
No, I'll take it though, and I'll tell you why. Because if you care enough to have watched the show, to have formed an opinion, be it positive or negative, right? And I would probably say, Dave, that the ratio of positive to negative feedback is like 99% positive, right? But in saying that, like anything, you expect negative feedback. You expect to be cut down. Talk about tall poppy syndrome, Dave. Like, wow, you're being successful. I don't like that. Cut. If you care enough that you're going to try and cut us down, then that's cool. And I will absolutely take what you say 100% on board because if you care enough, it means you probably watched some of it. You've only watched 5 minutes, but you got through that 5 minutes. That's cool, right? And you cared enough to tell us, even better. So for me, Dave, like, it's been a learning experience from that point, and that I actually appreciate that. Like, that's, to me, like, 12 months ago, it would have been crazy to say that, but I totally appreciate the negative, crazy, angry viewers.
Awesome. I want to send a cable of appreciation, Matt Kelly, to Apple iTunes.
Yes.
For giving us an outrageous start. It's just fantastic. And while we're here, Matt Kelly, I would also like to extend a very sincere appreciation to Mr. Google.
Mr. Google has been very good to us, both through his search rankings and through his provision of the service YouTube.
Yes. And I'd like to thank Zucks for Facebook.
The old Facebook, who has also empowered the technical capability of the Samurai Lounge, which you should all go and join right now. So thank you to Mr. Zuckerberg. I
would also like to send a cable of appreciation to Aweber, blip.tv.
WordPress, Dave.
WordPress.
High-speed internet.
Oh, man. High-speed connection.
Thank you, High-speed.
Bluehost.
Bluehost, yes.
For never crashing the website. That is amazing. I would like to extend an appreciation to all those terrifically fantastic importing companies that bring coconuts from Thailand into Australia so that I can enjoy fresh, young, green coconuts whenever I desire, Matt Kelly.
I'll give you that. But I want to go in and I want to throw out there a double thanks to Apple for the iPhone 5, which I love,
Yes.
and it is
Yes.
a good tool. So thank you, Apple. Thank you. I am very, very grateful, and I appreciate your existence.
Excellent. Excellent. I want to send a massive thank you and appreciation to every single person
Yep.
who referred someone to the podcast. And there's been many, many people have done that. That is seriously a samurai act. That is what samurai do. When they hear something good, they share it. If they learn something, they share it immediately. That's how the ripples start. That's how we begin to change sloth into samurai.
Yeah. And it means something massive to us, because what that says is, like, I endorse this. I'm sharing this because I care about it. That is like the highest of compliments, not only to like, I take that as to Dave and I, but also to the community that's been built, to the epicness that people are building as a result of watching this. Like, that is what I'm thankful for people who care enough about this to take action, to do something, and to share it. It's massive.
Exactly. Finally, Matt Kelly, I'd like to give a shout out. Oh, two more. A mass appreciation to all the people that we've modeled, and we mentioned them before. Thank you for walking the path first so that we could then see the path that you'd walked and merely follow in your footsteps. Literally standing on the shoulders of giants. Mass appreciation to you. And finally, to all our family and friends, and especially to your wife, Sarah, Matt.
Sarah, yes.
Yes.
Epic patience. Epic patience. Yes, no, I am truly, truly grateful. She even put up with us, Dave, podcasting in the living room before we moved house, the day before we were moving house, boxes stacked around us, and I was like, I'm sorry, I love you, but we can't pack right now. I have to podcast. This is a requirement of living, is that I podcast right now. And you know what she did, Dave? She was like, no problem. I'll watch too. This will be awesome. And that was like, cool. Epic appreciation.
Good on you, Sarah. That's fantastic. So go through, and the message for the podcast viewers is make a big list of everything that you appreciate. Okay?
Yes.
Let's bring it home, Matt Kelly. The fourth and final stage is to review and have a look forward to the future. What are you looking forward to? And the reason you do this is because you've just got this great feeling of appreciation. Wow, all this stuff's happened. I'm so thankful to so many people. And you know what? I do have a team behind me. Let's go forth. Let's go forth and do something, Matt Kelly. I am so excited for an explosive 2013, Matt Kelly. The number of things that are happening to this podcast is just crazy. Already, I have teed up interviews with people that are living outrageous lives. There's some crazy ones in the pipe, man. There is this guy and girl. They're married. They run a marketing company that helps small businesses, but they literally spend 6 months of the year in Europe, and the rest of the time they're in Hawaii, and they come back. They come back to Sydney every now and then just to hang loose. I got another guy who turned his back on a traditional life path. Now, man, he's an illusionist, and he travels, and it's not Brian Brushwood, although we may get him on.
Sure.
This guy just travels around different countries. He's like, yep, I'll go here. Illusionist, man.
Amazing.
Impossible is an opinion, Matt Kelly. Impossible is an opinion. I'm also looking forward to really building the community, to taking the Samurai Lounge to a new level.
Oh man, the Samurai Lounge has been such an awesome thing for this podcast, for this community, and any member of the Samurai Lounge can see where it's going. Already, we can see where it's going. It's blowing up.
It's blowing up, Matt Kelly. So there really are so many great things coming up, and I just want to have a little sneak preview into the future. So when those interviews are happening, Mr. Matt Kelly, you will be taking a little bit of a break there. You won't be required on the podcast station.
I will not, Dave. I will not. No, stepping back to a guest hosting position with you from time to time, Dave. We've both got massive projects coming, and there is only so much time. So stay tuned, people. Stay tuned, people, because I know what Dave is working on. I know there's some big stuff coming, and all I can say is get ready. It's going to be awesome.
Well, mate, all I can say is I moved to Melbourne. Right, I moved cities to make this happen big in 2013. So, buckle up, dude. Buckle up. All right. Another thing that I'm looking forward to, Matt Kelly, and this is a little project that we're going to do together before we round out the year, is we are going to create the Living Outrageously podcast yearbook.
The yearbook.
The yearbook. This is your chance, podcast viewer, your chance to go down in history to contribute whatever has happened outrageously in your life this year, to add your little story and be part of the samurai tribe moving forward. This samurai tribe is going to be around for a long time.
It will become very well known.
And you get a chance to go in the very first yearbook. So I'm going to send out an email very shortly with all the details. We're going to put together all the little stories, all the massive successes, and everyone that contributes will get a free copy. The copy we'll put it. We'll make sure it's on the Kindle store, ready in time for Christmas, so you can buy it there. But certainly, all contributors get a free copy. And dude, it's going to be great. It's great.
It's going to be so good. Yeah.
Just to read about all the samurai success stories. So stay tuned for that one. But Matt Kelly, we're not going to plug anything except for
Audible.com. Thank you, Audible, for your epic support through both season 1 and 2. They joined us about halfway through season 1, Dave, and they've been freaking awesome. If you haven't yet signed up, and you all have because you're awesome samurai, but if you haven't yet, audibletrial.com/LOP. Go sign up. You get a free audiobook on us. If you like podcasts, I'm betting that you're probably going to like audiobooks. It's a different way of learning. It's a different way of listening. Dave, right now, I am listening to Seth Godin on Audible. As in, not right now, I'm talking to you, but after this podcast, I will continue reading. I'm about 3/4 of the way through Linchpin, and I freaking love it. Audible, thank you so much for supporting us. And viewers, support the people who support the people that you like. So Audible is one of them. Boom! Okay, Dave Thompson. Samurai Lounge. We are not going to talk about anything except for Audible and the Samurai Lounge.
The Samurai Lounge is the place to be to hang out with like-minded people who are heading for their outrageous life or are living it at the moment and just want to share their knowledge with everyone else. It's an amazing environment, free of charge to enter right now. If you want in, go to livingoutrageously.com, sign up on the right-hand side. We'll send you the link. It is a private group. Awesome times await, Matt Kelly. Awesome times await.
They sure do.
Not to mention the Living Outrageously store where you can get your official samurai gear, Matt Kelly. And I gotta say, it's pretty sexy.
It is a requirement of living that you wear your samurai uniform on a frequent basis. So thank you to all, and Dave, there's been heaps of people who've gone out there and bought the awesome, Are You Living Outrageously t-shirts. Thank you all so much for doing that. It's been, a humbling experience to see photos of viewers in the shirts that we sat down in Photoshop and created, Dave. It's been freaking awesome. So thank you so much to all of you. If you want to get to the store, go to the website, hit the online store button. It'll flick you through the Spreadshirt and you can buy it direct. If you're in the US, even better because they come from the US. Man, that's crazy talk. It's so easy.
Ooh.
So easy. Boom.
Ooh. And Matt Kelly, if you do want to have a chat with me personally about how some of our coaching programs can help you accelerate your results and get to that outrageous life as quickly as possible, livingoutrageously.com/coaching. Fill in the form. We'll get in touch and we'll see what we can do for you because, dude, let's face it, you want a result. Sometimes when you're in the thick of the action, it's hard to see the things maybe that you're just missing.
Yeah.
If you have someone from the outside, makes all the difference. So livingoutrageously.com/coaching, Matt Kelly. Ooh, it would be reminiscent not to mention Matt Kelly's famous The Entrepreneur's Guide to Outsourcing with Confidence. Because
it's confidence, man.
Everyone wants to but no one has any confidence. And didn't you get an email, Matt Kelly, that this guy goes, Matt Kelly, I love your book. You are my guru. I would buy this book merely for the section on confidence.
Literally, the one chapter. Yes, Dave. I'm stoked with the result of this book. This is the second iteration of the book, and it's available on Amazon. And I'm just so happy, man. The Entrepreneur's Guide to Outsourcing with Confidence. It's killing it, and I'm loving it, so that's cool. And the other thing, Dave, one last quick shout out from my end, and that's all about my personal website, mattkelly.com.au. I haven't given it a big shout out in quite a while, but we mentioned that I am stepping back a little bit from the podcast, so as a result of that, if you want to see the craziness that I'm up to, you can also get it there, although I'm sure all of the Crazy Samurai Lounge viewers will know well in advance, given they are probably going to take part in helping me build awesome stuff, because that's what samurai do.
Awesome, Matt Kelly. Awesome. One final announcement, coming up. So we've got the yearbook. We've got the yearbook coming up. We've also got, we're going to do, first time in the history of the LOP, we're going to do a live webinar, free of charge. Any samurai that wants to join can join. We're going to be doing a webinar, webinar on your best year yet. 2013, time to just take it to the sky, to have an explosive 2013, Matt Kelly. Explosive.
Yeah.
Literally explosive.
Maybe not literally. Maybe not literally. I don't want anyone to die here. But yeah. No. It will be explosive.
No. Awesome. So there'll be more news about that very shortly. That's happening in December sometime.
Great one.
Dude, I think that's about all the messages. Do you want to just have a quick little word before we wrap up?
Let's do a couple of closing words here, Dave, because it has been two massive like seasons of the LOP. Like we mentioned, that's 56 episodes. That's almost 56 hours of footage online, and it's been a massive adventure for me. It's been personally like one of the most fun and entertaining and exhilarating projects I've ever had the pleasure of working on. It's been very much a powerful and emotional ride in that as well, in that the emails that we get, Dave, are crazy. I remember when we first launched, getting like an email from a viewer that I just sat there and I was like, holy crap, like this is actually happening. People are like hearing these messages and they're taking action, and that's what we designed it for, and that's what I was so happy for, because Dave and I both had personal reasons for doing this. So things that we wanted to get out of it, as well as adding massive value. And for me, a big one was being able to contribute and being able to add this value via this method, via this platform. I really wanted to get into podcasting, and I'm so glad that we did this. It's just been so good. Who knows where the future's going with this? I know the Samurai are super excited. I know the Samurai Lounge is pumping. So let's just all get together and just make this bigger and better, make the future crazy, because like living outrageously to me isn't about being a podcast. It's not a podcast. It's a movement. It's a behavior. It's the way that you choose to live your life, a mentality, a state of mind. And for me, this is really about being able to go, wow, I know I'm living outrageously right now. Like, this is the life that I want to live. It's not a podcast that I watch on a weekly basis. It's a way I choose to live. And that's what I love about that expression, Dave. It is such a powerful thing. People, I said I was going to rant about adding value. The Samurai are already doing it. You don't need me to say this, but no matter what, no matter where I am in the future, where you are in the future, it is your responsibility to add your value in this universe. There is a finite number of days you have left. And if you sit there and count down the seconds, those are seconds that are gone. You can never get those back. So if you've got your value, if you know what value you can add, get out there and make it happen. Keep pushing the boundaries. Like Seth Godin, push the box. Just make big stuff happen constantly, because you will feel better, the people around you will feel better, and the world will be an awesome place. Dave, thank you to you. Thank you for continuing to do the podcast, for continuing to step up, for adding ridiculous value, making this a massive, massive thing. The content that you bring has been outrageous, to say the least. And like, I know that we've killed it week after week. It's gotten progressively more exciting, bigger, better, more action-packed, and I am just truly grateful to everyone. Thank you to every single viewer that's watched this. Thank you to just literally everyone. It's been a freaking awesome ride. Boom.
Boom.
Was that too fast? Too much energy?
No, that was outstanding, Matt Kelly. That was literally outstanding. Very moving, my friend. Very moving, because, this is, you're exactly right. Living outrageously is a lifestyle choice. And, as much as this is our business and this is what we do, it's more than that. It's more than just making money. It's about actually being able to say, well, yes, when I'm 80, 90, 100, 120, 150, who knows, 200, it's to be able to be in that coffin and go, you know what? I gave it a good shake. I didn't leave anything in the tank. I was out on that field for a short time. I gave it everything I had. I didn't waste my time doing what other people told me to do. I stood up for myself. I worked out what I was made of, and I went freaking after it. Because the worst thing and the thing that just makes you so incredibly sad is regrets. I know people that just can't live with themselves because they have so many regrets. You can see it in their face. They're 40, 50, 60. They didn't go for it. They did not go for the samurai path. And they had a choice. And they still have a choice if they're still alive. But at one point, they decided, no, the samurai path is not for me. And it is my most sincere wish that every single viewer, every single person that comes in contact with the LOP makes the choice to be samurai. Because let's face it, there are too many people in this world that are not samurai. There are too many sloths. And the sloth is, excuse the French, but the sloth is stuffing up the world. I didn't even speak French then, but that's the truth. We need more samurai. And if you're sitting there thinking it's freaking scary to be samurai, well, what's scarier? Stepping up and going after what you want and actually getting it? Or is it a scarier thought to be in your grave and go, I could have done that. I coulda. I'm a gunner. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Never did it. So my parting message for all the podcast viewers and my biggest wish as we round out season 2 and year 1 of the LOP, Matt Kelly, is you know what the secret to the universe is? You know what the secret to living outrageously is? The secret to being a samurai? Know your mission. Why are you here? What result do you want? What's the outcome? Why? Why are you here? Why? Man, I had to ask that to myself when I was sitting in the law firm, shuffling paper. Why am I here? And the more people that ask themselves that, the better. The second part, the second key to the universe, Matt Kelly, why am I here? All right, now I know my mission. Who do I have to be worthy of that mission? What sort of person do I have to be? And let me tell you, if you've got a big mission, the answer is not to be a sloth. The answer is to be samurai. And that's what we do here on the LOP, is we teach people how to be samurai. So if you've got a big mission, if you want to achieve, if you want to go places, if you want to end up in that coffin at 100, 150, 200 years old, with your tie all ruffled or your dress like half up, and your hair frazzled, cuts along your cheek, but just with this massive fuck off grin on your face, like, whoa, man. If that's the life you want, stick with the LOP, stick with the samurai. Because wherever you are now, it may seem tough, but you're on the right path. And wherever you are right now, it's exactly where you need to be. Whatever problems are coming your way, they're coming your way for a reason. And the reason is you need to learn a lesson. And the lesson, you need to learn that lesson so you can go to the next stage. Life is like a video game, man. So that's what season 3 is going to all be about, is teaching the skills of the samurai. And finally, Matt Kelly, massive thank you to yourself, because there have been some tough moments during this last year. And the number of times that we have, the thought has crossed our mind, yeah, just give it away, forget it. Let's go do something else. That's come across many times. But every time it's like, no, snap out of that. This is bigger than that. It's not about you. It's not about you and you're bitching about, oh, you're tired and you don't want a podcast. It's not about that. It's about the mission of teaching as many people as possible to be samurai. That's what it's about. It's about building the samurai tribe. Snap out of it. Get your big boy pants on. Who do you stand for? What do you stand for? Which way are we going? Boom, let's do it. And folks, that is Matt Kelly all over. So, massive thank you to you, my friend. And if you've got nothing else left to say, I think the only thing left to say is if you want a boring life, go sit in a cubicle and you won't let the sloth win, will you? My name's Dave Thompson. That is Matt the freaking man Kelly. And we will catch you on the other side.
Thank you very much, everyone.